Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Scouting the Cities. I'm your host, Scout Mason. We got a great episode today with the two owners of Zait Za'atar, Faiz and Saif Khan. Two great guys who really care about this place that's located here in St. Paul on Selby Avenue. I found this place when I was, trying to treat myself with a good meal, looking for a nice something rolled in a pita, right? So I found this place on Yelp, and it turned out to be great. I went in alone, and ordered my food, took it to go, and instead of, sitting in the restaurant alone, even though the restaurant, I will say, is pretty beautiful on the inside, I took it to go and ate it in my car alone because I thought that would be less lame. But now I'm telling you all this, and so it probably isn't very, it is not less lame, I would say. But I think you'll hear in this episode that these two guys who took over this restaurant a few years ago really, really care about bringing, the food they grew up with here to St. Paul, and they're doing a very, very good job of it, bringing, what their mother made to St. Paul. And if you want to try genuine good cuisine, Indian, Pakistani, Mediterranean, whatever you want to call it, this is the place to go, and you'll see and hear from these guys that They really do care, and they're trying their best to build up their business. We all know how hard that is. Well, I guess maybe you don't, but maybe you'll find out here in Scouting the Cities. So without further ado, we present to you the owners of Zait Za'atar. Enjoy. So, here with the owner of Zait Za'atar. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the restaurant?
First of all, thank you, Scout, for taking time to do this with us. We really appreciate it. My name is Faiz Khan. I'm one of the owners for Zait Za'atar. It's a small family-owned restaurant out here in St. Paul. Awesome community in Miriam Park neighborhood. We're off of Snelling and Selby. We took over this place in November of last year, 2022. It's been amazing. The community is very supportive. It's a very warm and welcoming community, very inclusive, and our restaurant, as the name goes, Zait and Za'atar. So Zait means oil. Za'atar is a Middle Eastern herb mix. So that's where the name is derived from. It's a very common kind of a dessert, breakfast item. In Middle East, you take a piece of bread, dip it in the oil, and then dip it in the herb and eat it. Take a bite of it. That's where the restaurant derives its name. And it's a Middle Eastern and a fusion between Middle Eastern and South Asian cuisine, which is a first, I would say, in the Twin Cities. We were lacking something wherein you have both the mix of worlds. So we provide a lot of options, which are all like from the eastern part of the world, a lot of delicacies. So that's that.
Yeah, how would you describe that fusion between, Middle Eastern and Southeast Asian, as you said, like in food style, I guess?
So the thing is, a lot of our cooking is influenced by our mother, and we grew up in India, a central part of India, so to speak. And when we were a customer at this place for a very long time, this place has been there forever. And when we took this over, this used to be a Middle Eastern food joint, and then we started slowly introducing our flavors, our food of South Asian cuisine, which is Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi kind of food, which is very well received. And when I say fusion, it's not a true fusion. That's why I usually use in my marketing as well. I say it's a Middle Eastern cross South Asian, because we have both, not fusion truly. Because when you say think of a fusion cuisine, it's done like a Middle Eastern food done with Pakistani flavors, which is not the case. Both of our food are separate and from each other, and it's that's how we have it, that we offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here is my brother, Saif.
Hey. Hi.
Fellow owner in the business?
Yes.
So, I guess you guys, you just mentioned you grew up in India, in a central part of India. So, how did you come to the Twin Cities and then, I guess, start cooking yourself and then eventually opening the restaurant?
Yeah. So the work brought me here way back, and I've been around here for almost a decade now. We live in northwest suburbs of the Twin Cities, so it's far from here. I was in IT. I used to work, but I always had passion for business and for something which is restaurant and cooking and hospitality. And so we moved over. And then when this place was shutting down, as I said, we were very loyal customers, and we wanted to keep this place going because the community loved it, we loved it. So we thought, okay, let's just take this over and see what we can do with the place. So we did some remodeling here. We have digital displays. We did some more flower walls and everything,
Yeah.
Insta wall, and took it from there.
So did you keep the original name?
Yes.
Yeah, we kept the same name, Zait and Za'atar, and then
We added an adage to it, which is often missed. It's called Mediterranean Dhaba. So Mediterranean food is essentially the Middle Eastern kind of food, shawarma, gyros, and stuff. Dhaba is a food shack kind of a thing that you find on the highways in India.
Yeah.
It's roughly usually 24/7. People live there, and that is the best food that you'll find on the streets of India, Pakistan.
Yeah.
So in the South Asia, it's pretty common to go to dhabas late in the night. If you want a late night bite, you go to a place which is dhaba.
Yeah.
And so we added that adage to just make it clear that okay, we are also Middle Eastern and a South Asian cuisine place.
Yeah. So you guys want to bring your kind of style of what you grew up eating, right, to the Twin Cities. So like how are you doing that? You mentioned like cooking like your mother or grandmother and then now like the tabas as well. So how have you guys tried to do that and how's that worked out for you?
So the thing is, I think everyone misses their mom's food at some point, right? And living here in the Twin Cities, there are a few of the flavors that we were definitely missing, which was there. Like there is Indian food, there's Pakistani food, there is Middle Eastern food out here, but we were definitely missing some of the food that we used to have at home. So for that, we usually either go far, or you have to fly 40 hours to get to home, or you have to go to places like Houston or Chicago, where it's mostly a lot of that diaspora is, right? There's the food scene goes on there. So we thought that was definitely missing. Some things like chaat that we offer comes back from our mom's recipes and from places back home. Something of our biryani is very much influenced by our mom's cooking and our grandma's cooking. Our chole bhature that we offer is something which we haven't had in Twin Cities, I would say.
and halwa puri.
The halwa puri. There's only one or two other places that offer that, which is a pretty popular South Asian food, which was kind of missing in this whole scene. So we intend to grow from this and bring more back home kind of food to a lot of people and memories. On weekends we have a cart going on in this space, wherein we do live pani puri. So pani puri is another street food from Indian subcontinent. It's a bite-sized puff ball. You poke a hole, put some seasoned potatoes in it, tamarind sauce, and then dip it in tamarind water, and it's pretty amazing. But that's something which his daughter are missing on, because they are growing up here, but we grew up in places where it was on the streets available. So we want to bring that experience, the cultural experience, along with the food to the dining scene in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, so you have an actual cart in here, so like try to like mimic the style even, like you're walking up.
We make it here, we serve it to them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Someone's standing here, making it, handing it out as you can.
Yeah. That's super cool. So what has the response been then for customers coming in, both people who are, from the places you're taking the influence from and from others who've never tried the food before?
Yes, and it's been amazing. It's been phenomenal. People have loved their food. People have loved the cuisine, what we have to offer, the experience itself. I remember a few weeks back, we catered at one of the events where they wanted the cultural experience of Pakistan, and then we served chaat there. There was chai and all those things, and it was
The
pretty well
difference is
received.
like we try to bring a lot of cultural things here to show it to our kids, the next generation, so they can understand, right?
Yes.
That's what the concept is. That's
Yes.
the reason we
And the-
started.
And a lot, you would be surprised how many people have been to India, Pakistan. Now with the globalization, a lot of people travel often, and they have been there, who are not from there, and a mix. I think this is a very diverse population that we serve here. Not just Indians, Pakistanis, but like there are a lot of other people who eat at our restaurant, and the response has been equally well received for all of it because we offer something for everyone, right? If you want something which is on the milder side, you can go with some things that are like shawarma spices and all, right? Which are very flavorful, different kind of spice mix, versus you can get with something very bold like chaat, which is a street food. So whatever you like, you have something
Yeah.
that we offer. Yes.
Yeah. So have you? I guess when you first opened the restaurant, did you cook a lot before opening the restaurant, like just at home, or were you just trying a lot of foods?
Honestly, I try a lot of food. I'm connoisseur of food. I love good food.
Who doesn't, right?
Yes, but he, on the other hand,
Yeah.
he can literally make anything for you. He just, if you even have leftovers in the kitchen, he can bring out something that you're gonna love. So that's what my brother has been at home as well. So like,
We started cooking. We loved the food, and then we are kind of foodies as a family. Me, my wife, my daughter. We all are like so foodie people. So we were missing the food here, especially in the Twin Cities. There's basically nowhere that we can go and get some good food. So there are places, but sometimes it's not reasonable. Sometimes it's different ways. You might need to drive a lot. Then we more often go to Chicago, Orlando, and different places
Yeah.
to get some food.
they're great places, but it's just
Yeah, it's just too
everyone
far.
has different
Yeah.
taste buds, and something which more appeal to us is the food
Yeah.
that we offer here. So the food that we offer here is something which comes from passion, something that we were missing, that we wanted ourselves and our kids to try. Like I have a daughter, he has a daughter. We wanted them to try that food. So a lot of it is coming from straight from what we wanted. We cook for them, or we wanted a place where we can offer that to others as well.
Yeah, just trying to keep the culture alive, I guess, for as you're raising your kids in a new place, right?
Yes. More than that, I think that it's important for because we are living in the melting pot of the world. It's very important that we expose our kids and others to all the cultures. We are open to all the cultures. We eat at other places which are Mexican, Italian food. We enjoy a lot of Somali food.
Yeah.
All of
Chinese.
that. Chinese.
Yeah.
So like it's very important for us that our kids are also exposed to a lot of different flavors and that the world has to offer. Growing up in this part of the world wherein you can experience all is amazing. Right, back home we did not call it Indian food; it was food.
Yeah.
So that's something which we want to keep alive for the next generation and just see how they go about it.
So you mentioned like accessibility, how people, well, you mentioned it growing up. You just go to the street carts and grab the food, and now,
Yes.
since you're right in the middle of St. Paul, really, like you're very close to both the capital, Minneapolis and St. Paul. So, excuse me. So how have you brought that accessibility both with just inviting people in and price wise and just making it open for anyone to grab a bite?
So, from an accessibility perspective, we have dine-in, we cater, we also deliver through DoorDash, Grubhub, Bite Squad. We're working with a few of the other vendors as well to expand that for our guests. We are pretty much open during the month of Ramadan. We are preparing for the month of Ramadan big time. We are also offering like the Ramadan iftar boxes when people break fast. If they want to donate boxes, we can help them cater all of it. From the food accessibility perspective, right? So we're right here. We're just a phone call away.
Yeah.
That's that. But other than that, I think you said it right. We're right in the middle of St. Paul, wherein we have access to both the sides of the cities, and we have McAllister College, we have St. Kate's, and others, which we love our neighbors. So we offer them 10% discount to any student who shows up with a student ID, or teachers, of course, to appreciate the teachers. So that's all we do. Our price point is pretty reasonable given where we are. We want to keep it competitive at the same time, be able to pay our staff well enough so that they are well taken care of, and keep it ethical for everyone, and keep it open, with the place open. And that's why we go out and support a lot of local businesses around here, and we expect the same, and which is the case. A lot of our neighbors love us. They are here.
We are even a part of the Snelling, right?
Yeah.
Selby at Snelling. So
Yep.
they also they are our neighbors. They support all these
Yeah,
small
there's
businesses. So
a
definitely
small business association,
small business association.
that we are a part of.
Yeah.
Selby at Snelling. So we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
also a part of that. So we offer a lot of options to our guests and customers.
Yeah. So, with you mentioned how a lot of the types of food that you guys make here wasn't around before. So how have you guys been able to find like ingredients and stuff like that? Where are you getting your products from, and how are you turning it into your own style?
Yeah. So a lot of ingredients are available. It's just that cooking is an art, right? The ingredients are around. I cannot make a painting, but the paints are there. So that's that. So there are ingredients that are available. We offer some of the exclusives that we take very much pride in, which is something like really awesome pani puri, dahi puri. We have the best chaat, I would say, in Twin Cities.
Kushari.
Kushari.
We have kushari. That's
Yeah.
an Egyptian street food again, and that's an exclusive option, which only we have it here in
Yes.
the Twin Cities.
And a lot of our Egyptian,
Egyptian
guests,
brothers,
they love it.
They just love
They
it.
keep coming back for the kushari. So kushari is a Egyptian street food. It's a bowl size portion with a bed of white rice, topped with macaroni, topped with lentils, topped with hummus, and then caramelized onions.
Yeah.
And on the side you have a kushari sauce, which is a hot red kind of a sauce, tomato-based sauce, served really hot and amazing. So you can also top it with a protein of your choice. This is something which is very common in Egypt, but you don't get it in Twin Cities.
Yeah.
And the previous owners used to have it, and they were kind enough for us to continue with the recipe. So we are offering that as an exclusive in the Twin Cities too.
Another part of this restaurant that I've really noticed is the design scheme. I mean, this whole flower wall and everything. You guys have all the technology, and all the tables are beautiful in themselves. So how much work did you put in for that, and why do you think that's important to the overall vibe, I guess, of the restaurant?
This is done mostly to our style. This is a lot of it also looks like my house too, I would say, right? A lot of this was picked from what I did to my own living space. A lot of it. So we wanted to do, and this is just a very simple business practice where we both have, is to have do things with passion, something that you're really passionate about. Get into that. So I want to make this space, and we together thought that this is something which we want to make it our own, and how can we do it?
Ambience is really important
Yes.
too. So we were focusing on the ambience to provide the audience the correct kind of potential what they want to see here, and which they are really
A
appreciating.
warmth
as well.
that
Yeah.
would bring them in
That
and
would
make
bring
them
them in.
feel you're having a meal at home kind of
Yeah.
a feeling, right? So we want to make this a place where friends gather, where families gather, right? Loved ones gather, and then they sit and enjoy good food in a good kind of a vibe going
Yeah.
around. So we have light music going on. We have all of this chandeliers and the wall and everything. So this is something we upgraded when we took over, because this was important for our style of what we wanted to do. That came from, again, the place of passion for making this place.
Yeah. So I grew up working at a restaurant for, from the time I was 14 years old, right? And so I remember the owner of the restaurant, he's always running around, going to Restaurant Depot and back, trying to get, whatever. We need more out of dressing. All right, he's on the way, right? So what have the challenges been about starting this place up, or I guess taking over,
Yeah.
and like how have you tried to overcome those, I guess?
Yeah. We do make quite a bit of run to Restaurant Depot, to a lot of halal places where we get the meat, sourcing the meat, and all those things. So it is an experience.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of effort.
And we enjoyed it actually.
Yeah.
It's a journey which we enjoy a lot.
Yes.
So.
We both love what we do here. So those, they don't feel like chores. A lot of times you would see my daughter sitting at the counter. She thinks that she runs the place and stuff, and she says that, which essentially is the case. It's a family restaurant. People love it. So we are all very much involved in what we do here for the community. There's a community aspect. There is a passion aspect. There is something which we enjoy doing. So it doesn't feel like a lot of work. A lot of time we just hang out here because this is
My
not
family
work.
even they come in here during the weekends. They come in here to enjoy with us. They
Yeah.
stay here for some time. My wife, my daughter, we all sit here enjoy. So his daughter came in. We are family. It's a family-owned business. We
Yes.
enjoy a lot.
Yeah.
So we make it work, I would say.
Yeah.
Between us.
How do you think it's going to play a role in your family growing up? Or, you'll have your kids working here and taking over the place, or what? How do you think that's going to go?
We'll see if we are able to. If this is
They're five years.
around.
They're just 5 years.
Yeah,
old
they're
now,
5-year-old, both of us. So long way to go. But
Yeah.
and if we grow out of this into something bigger and more places and more options, we'll definitely see. We are exploring the option to grow it as a business, and see where it goes. Maybe we'll make it a franchise or something at some point. We'll consider all of that.
Yeah. So what is the future? Are you looking to add more stuff on the menu, or are you guys sticking with what you have and saying, hey guys, this is really good, trying to bring in more people and then move on from there? Or?
We are still trying to add multiple things. Like almost every weekend we have some specials going on. We add more stuff to the existing menu. We have some specials for every weekend. So if that really people love that, then we add on to the menu.
Yeah.
And then
We do run weekend specials, chef specials, and some
Yeah.
of those came from few of our best sellers came from those.
Yeah.
So we are trying to expand our menu. The future is we want to first do it right, what we do, and we want to be the best at it. And then of course there is growth that comes with it. So we are not putting our horses out of the cart ahead of the horses. Let's say we're trying to learn from the whole experience and improve every day, serve the best of the food every day. Every meal that goes out of the kitchen, we want it to be as enjoyable for the guest as we possibly can. So our focus is like we want our team to focus razor sharp on what they do on a day-to-day basis to each and every meal. Each and every pinch of herb that they pick up, they need to know what they're doing. And then once we are good at while we are doing that great again and again, I think the growth would come automatically from it. A lot of friends, I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and they were asking about, hey, are you going to start a new place like closer to like Maple Grove where you live? I was like, that's an option we're thinking, but we just haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's on the cards.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's hard to take something and grow, and I'm sure it was a lot of work starting or taking this place over. So have you really gotten your feet under you now, and you have a routine down on a, I guess, weekly basis?
I think yes. I think we have good hold of
Yeah.
what we are doing here. We also know our business well enough. We also know when business picks up, what are our hours, so we are doing all the analytics around it. We use technology, right? That helps us a lot to make those informed decisions too. I think at this point we have really good hold of what we do here, and I think I see a lot of potential in growth in this.
Yeah. So is there anything you'd like to add, or what should the people know about this restaurant, and why should they come here?
Come here for the food, come here for the family, come here for a good time, come here for the vibe, come here because it's your own place. We want everyone. We don't call our customers, we call them guests because we truly believe that they are guests for us. And from where we come from, there is a saying called Atithi Devo Bhava. That's just an Indian thing. We want to treat our guests really well. From a hospitality perspective, you would see me standing. A lot of people just stand out of the door and they're looking inside. I'm like, come on in. I'll just have a chai on us. It's fine. Just sit and that's just part of our hospitality that we want to offer. So come here to experience culture. Come here to experience the good vibes, the good feelings, good times,
True, and it's just more about experience, how we treat our guests, and that's what we want to give them, the best experience. So they should come here for the experience. Yes.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you.
No,
Thank you
it's
a
all
lot
good.
for taking time,
Yeah, of
Scott.
course.
Scout, it was amazing talking to you, and good luck to your ventures too.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Perfect. Alrighty. Thank you. Perfect.